So today's video isn't about some hot new piece of gear that just dropped that, you know, you definitely gotta have. It's about tried and true, reliable, that just gets the job done gear that I absolutely love. They're my Valentine for this Valentine's Day. Now wait a second, I dump all this gear in a hot minute for my true Valentine, Mrs. GT. The stuff that just makes sense, and that if I were to lose it, they got damaged, I would immediately go back and replace them in a heartbeat. And I have a full litany of gear and equipment today, from edge tools to illumination, footwear, apparel, you name it, but stuff that has been so reliable, trustworthy. And so I want to invite you along. We're just going to have a ton of fun, and I hope that throughout this video, you might discover some pieces of gear that you'll fall in love with too. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I'm Aaron. This is Gideonstactical. Let's dive in and have some fun. Okay, I want to kick things off with footwear, and they're the Danner Mountain 600s. I love these shoes. I bought them probably 3 years ago, I want to say. Could be 4. Kind of on a whim. I was like, I don't know, you know, they're kind of trendy. You see them in movies, you see them like whatever. I don't know really what to expect. If a little gnome came into my house tonight and stole every pair of boots I own, and tomorrow morning I had to go out and buy my first pair again, these would be the ones, without a doubt. You know, they're recraftable, so you can replace certain parts of it. They got the Vibram, I would say vibranium, the Vibram soles. These soles, dude, and I couldn't tell you exactly how many miles, a couple hundred at least. But what's probably one of the best parts, on top of, you know, durability, you know, the leather, the water resistance, waterproof, whatever. I can wear them just about year round here in the Rockies. I mean, and we get up to 90 degrees. I can go hiking with these right now on trail with my buddy Judah, and then I can dust these off, clean them up a little bit, put on a new pair of pants, and go out to dinner with Mrs. GT and take her to a nice restaurant. And they're gonna fit in both categories and be durable on trail, but still hold their own and not look like big clunky mountaineering boots when I go out and do more just generic stuff around town or out to dinner or whatever. Now this one was not easy to pick, because I believe everyone should have at least one plier-based multi-tool. If you do anything with your hands, you do anything outdoors, you tinker, do anything, you're gonna find that a multi-tool is going to be helpful. And I own just about every Leatherman multi-tool they've made that is currently in existence, along with several Gerber multi-tools. I have 1 or 2 SOGs, a bunch of knockoffs. I probably have 25 plier-based multi-tools flying around. And so to choose just one that I'm just absolutely in love with, I had to really think about for a minute. The Leatherman Super Tool 300. Give me a shout out if you own a Super Tool 300, if you use and trust it regularly. What makes this one stand out for me is, one, the cost at just over $100 when there's so many Leatherman tools that are pushing over $200, but it's the layout to durability. Now, the durability actually, and I would argue this is probably the most durable multi-tool Leatherman makes for this reason. It's not really the head, because the Surge is going to have a similar size head, the Arc is going to have a similar size head. It really comes down to that all of the implements just seem to be a slightly better build quality, and they all have a lock back. Now that makes them not quite as accessible one-handed. This is kind of more of a two-handed tool to open up and get each implement, whichever you're going to use, but they have a very large lock back design for every single implement, meaning that it's more durable than a liner lock, slip joint, doing other things that you may run into. And because of the contoured shoulders all the way around, when you actually use the tool, it's one of the most ergonomic multi-tools that Leatherman makes. And then if you get one of their slim bit kits that will go over the Phillips head, now you just gave yourself not only access to all of their proprietary bits, but any 1/4 inch. So the Super Tool 300 may make my heart beat a little faster, but leave a comment below and let me know what plier-based multi-tool you're absolutely in love with. Now, every time I do list videos like this, I get questions on, hey, where can I find that particular piece of gear? Where did you get that? So I have links in the description box below over to not only my Amazon store with all the stuff that we're talking about, but also the other distributors, and a couple items, you know, may not be able to be found on main distributors. I have all those links in the description box below. So at any point in time you want to check those out, those will be included for you guys. So next up on the list is the hoodie that won't quit. My Outdoor Research FERROSI hoodie is over a decade old at this point. If you follow the channel, you know it's probably, I'm wearing it in 80% of any video. It has literally a couple thousand miles of trekking time at this point, and I just keep coming back to it. I have a couple others that I use for, you know, like just around town and stuff, but this has been my singular, and I have not replaced it yet, and I don't really have a plan to until it rips out. But under armpits, you know, it's just a great weight, super breathable, but gives enough blockage for me here in the Rockies. You know, good hood, just all of it, man. I just can't say enough good things. If you're looking for a kind of well-rounded outer shell that breathes, I would say the Outdoor FERROSI hoodie without question. So how do you even live life if you don't own a pocket knife? There are so many amazing ones out there, but what is like my heartthrob that just gets my blood pumping, that I'm like, if I had to spend the most time with a pocket knife, spend the rest of my life with a pocket knife, you know, like what would that pocket knife be? And there's so many good ones out there. But if you were to I was asking myself, like, what's the most well-rounded blade? And actually, it's not that hard. It's not that hard. I fell upon it within like 5 seconds. The Cold Steel RECon 1. Still, dudes, after such a long period of time, over, I don't even know when this was originally released, over a decade, it's gone through different iterations of steel, you know, a couple different iterations here and there, but the S35EN version, which I own right here, absolutely like primo pocket knife if you were to ask me for well-roundedness, because you can still get them from like 100 to 120 bucks with the steel. I think that's actually one of the better steel choices for the money that you can like think of. The almost indestructible triad lock. You can get different blade shapes. Clip point is obviously the best, but shout out if you prefer something different. But you know, full grip, ambidextrous, triad lock, the durability to cost, you know, so you can beat on it and not be really concerned. And, you know, if you were to lose it, yes, you know, $100 is $100, but I mean, it's not like you're losing a $300 pocket knife. And I know it's on the large size, and I feel for you if you have blade restrictions, say under 3 inches, you know, 3 inches or less, then go with the G10 version of the Verdict. This thing feels like a mini Recon 1, even though I know there's a mini Recon 1. I would go with this. AUS 10 steel, still very good, different blade shapes. It's got full grip for me, ambi still, triad lock still. So if you're always like wanted a Recon 1, but you just can't, you know, carry it, go with a Verdict. That's a good redundancy for those of you who might need a mini version. That's pretty funny to me that the most simplistic, inexpensive, and really archaic thing on this entire list is the one that has absolutely changed my life and I've totally fallen in love with. And I'm not just saying that to like hook you for a little bit longer and stick around. If I could leave you with anything else in this entire video, it'd be what I'm about to talk about right here. And it's actually not really this like case. This is a LOCKBY case. It's what's inside of it. A pen and paper. Pen and paper has radically changed my life and I'm in love with it. And it goes with me everywhere. This is why. Back in about September, October last year, I realized that I was not being anywhere near as productive as I could be. I was leaving things undone. My brain was just super chaotic all the time. Being a content creator, running your own business, you're answering emails, you're your own accountant, you're the talent, you're the editor. I mean, Gideonstactical is a one-man show. And then being a dad and a husband and all the things that are going on in life, I'm like, I'm forgetting things. I'm not being anywhere near as productive, but how do I like keep on top of it? And I had tried doing notes and stuff on my phone and reminders and things, but like, you know, you get on your phone and then before you know, you're answering texts and then you're answering emails and then you're social media and I'm checking what new blade just dropped and what should I make a video about, you know, and it just wasn't working for me. And then I saw some studies that they said that people who physically write down their simple tasks for the day on a piece of paper and then cross it off when they accomplish it are 40% more productive and more likely to get that thing done than just trying to keep it all up in your head or on a digital device. And so I said, screw it. This LOCKBY case with some notepads and, you know, whatever. I was like, you know what? They had sent it to me. I was like, sure, you know, it's been sitting there for 6 months. Haven't done anything with it. I'll just pick it up and start using it. And what I started to do as an example here is like 6:15, wake up. 7:15, read your Bible and pray. 7:45, chest workout. 8:45, eat breakfast, shower. Then 10 a.m., film, gear I love. which I'm doing today. You know, like these are the things I'm talking about, like simple stuff, but I've like crossed, I woke up, cross it off, read Bible, cross it off, work out, cross it off. You know, when I'm done filming today, boom, gonna cross that off. Here, down here, I have like order Mrs. GT's birthday gifts because her birthday's coming up. Don't forget about that, dude. You know, like she wants steaks for Valentine's Day. Okay, boom, get some steaks. You know, like simplistic stuff like that. But I have down here, you know, like read the Hardy Boy books and pray for my boys. You know, like do just simple things. But what it does is it engages with you. When you accomplish it, you have like this little dopamine hit, but you're not getting sucked into your phone, and you're crossing off and you're feeling accomplished. You're feeling like you're getting ahead. And then before you know it, you're adding more and more things to it that are healthy, that are better. They're going to make you a better person. They're going to make you a better individual. And before you know it, I've done it now for 4 or 5 months. I'm so much more productive. And I've told friends, family, like, dude, try it. So yeah, this LOCKBY goes with me everywhere, and it's awesome because it gives me also a sketch pad. So I'm, you know, when I sketch designs or I have an idea or something. But I mean, it could just be as simple as like a Rite and Rain pad with a pen and like a rubber band around it, whatever you want. I highly encourage you, if you are struggling with productivity, to try this for like a month and just see what happens. And I bet you're going to see a radical change in your life. Now, if you're watching this video, it's because you love gear, but I don't think we give our loved ones and spouses enough recognition. And I have to say, Mrs. GT is a phenomenal woman. We're coming up on 15 years of marriage this year, and it's like every day I fall more and more in love with her, discover new things about her. She challenges me. She drives me to be better. She's funny. I love to make her laugh. And when you can find somebody who shares your values, who pushes you to be better, who is there as your champion, as your, you know, cheerleader, who you love to be with, you know, day in, day out, and it's not just like the high moments. It's like, and you can make it through thick and thin, which she and I have done. See each other as more than just like, what can I get from you? But it's, I want to give to you. And it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And when you find someone like that, you hold on to them and you never let them go. So, let them know. Let them know during this Valentine's, you know, just this season. I think Valentine's Day itself is silly, but it's good to be reminded and to share how we really feel with the ones we love. My next piece of gear, the pack that I have on right now, my Mystery Ranch 2-day assault pack. And thank God they're keeping this, at least currently, in their lineup, because for those of you who don't know, Yeti, like Yeti water bottles, bought Mystery Ranch, I believe a year ago, maybe a little longer than that, shut down most of their brands, or most of their packs at this point, and have absorbed them into like the Yeti name. So if you see a Yeti backpack, now you're paying for the Yeti name, you're paying for what Mystery Ranch brought to the table, you know, so they're even more expensive. But they have the DNA, I guess, of a Mystery Ranch pack. But thankfully, they kept the Mystery Ranch line for all of their military contracts, military packs, and I believe their firefighter line. So those are still available. The reason the 2-day assault pack really connects with me personally is the yoke system. Ever since I got my very first Scree 32, which was my first one, like, I don't even know, going on 8 years ago or something, first Mystery Ranch pack, I was in love with the yoke to like load bearing capability. It was just nuts, so comfortable, and could really carry the heavier loads. And as a gear reviewer, I'm always packing out way more than I should because I'm testing 6 blades, or I'm, you know, got 3 water bottle filters I'm testing, you know, or whatever. And so to carry that extra load easily is amazing. And then good durability, you know, waterproof YKK zippers on many of their packs, including this one. And this one at 27 liters, and you can get, you know, small to medium or large, extra large for your body type and your torso length. It just really works, and the layout really works for me. And what's nice is that even though it's mainly, you know, designed for being out here, it's got water bottle pockets versus hidden ones, compression straps, MOLLE on the outside, but it has some laptop sleeves and internal organizational pockets enough to be able to use it as an EDC pack if you prefer, or it's just kind of like a well-rounded travel pack if you're traveling a lot. So if you were to say like, dude, what's a one and done day pack? Mr. Ranch 2-day assault pack. It's one. This one you're not going to ever find because it's a Huckberry exclusive camo pattern they don't have anymore. But totally dig it. This right here is something I'm in love with. Toyotas, baby. A good old Toyota. Probably because my first vehicle I ever owned that I spent my own money on when I was 17 years old was a 1985 Toyota Land Cruiser FJ60. I love that thing. It was a monster. It was a tank. Sadly, in my late teens, I had to let that go. And I've had since then several other vehicle brands. But a few years back, my wife and I both agreed, we're like, we got to go back to Toyota. So we did that. And I told her, we're never not going to have a pre-pandemic Toyota in this family. Like moving forward, at least one always in the family. Mine is a 2018 Toyota Tundra. Mrs. GT sports a 2012 Toyota Highlander. And basically, if it's not using a key, you're doing it wrong. I don't know, maybe there are a few push button starts before 2020, but my vehicle, and I'm gonna show you why I say pre-pandemic, mine just crossed over 100,000 miles. So this right here, the iForce 5.7 liter V8. No turbos, hybrid systems. It's just straight up old, simple power, what Toyota was always known for. And Mrs. GT's Highlander is about to roll over 100,000 miles as well. But we have every intention of keeping these in the family to at least 250,000 miles, short of, you know, being totaled in some accident or some catastrophe or something like that. And yeah, they're a little bit older. And I don't have some fancy touch screen, you know, and like, woo, whatever. I just have basic Bluetooth. We even have some CDs in here, old school style. But that's what makes it so great, because it's just simple. If something goes wrong, it's inexpensive. And it's much easier to maintain. And because we got these vehicles used with close to 100,000 miles each on them, they're significantly less expensive to get into in the first place. So old school Toyotas, pre-pandemic Toyotas, whatever you want to call it, that use a key, absolutely, I'm in love with. Now, you guys know I believe in having an illumination that's not tied to your cell phone. And there are tons of great flashlights out there. But the one that I've actually bought 3 times, I bought one, loved it so much, and then I lost it. Bought the second one, then realized I needed to gift something to someone, so I gifted them that light. This is my 3rd one now in about a year, but I bought it 3 times, and that's because it's that good. And it is the NITECORE, and I want to make sure because there's several models, the MT1A Pro. Now, I have both this version and this larger version. What I dig about this is obviously the price. It's like under $50. NITECORE, well-established brand. It's straightforward. It's 3 different power points up to 800 lumens, so it's got a really good punch to it. You've got your pocket clip, so you can obviously put it in your pocket, but you can also attach it to the bill of your hat, giving you hands-free illumination. But along with that, this is one of the best parts. It has a internal but removable rechargeable battery that uses a USB-C, but you can put a AA in here and run it that way too. So it's a great like survival, air quotes, versus with an integrated battery, you know, when instead you need to have a power source, or if it was ever to get, you know, degraded, something, whatever, you're just kind of screwed and you need to get a new light. So definitely the one I bought the most, but there's a reason for that, because it really gives me what I look for. Well, guys, that's just the short list. I mean, there's so many epic pieces of gear and equipment that I absolutely have fallen in love with, trust, that are reliable throughout the years for me. And, you know, if you guys really enjoy this and this gets, you know, a lot of traction and you guys really dig it, then maybe I'll do, you know, a part 2 here in a few months and share some more pieces of gear and equipment. But ultimately, it's just been kind of fun, just kind of a fun experience for myself. It always makes me, you know, rethink and reevaluate what's important, what's not in my gear. Obviously, Mrs. GT and my little boys and Tommy the Trail Dog are the most important outside of my relationship with my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. So, you know, but gear's a close second to all those. Close third, I guess. But yeah, appreciate you guys so much. I hope it's been fun, entertaining, give you some food for thought. Leave those comments. I always discover new gear and equipment because of your guys' comments. So maybe I'll find a new piece that I absolutely love. Check out the other videos. Subscribe if you haven't. Till next time, always remember to stay equipped, stay prepared, and I'll see you out there.